And in this video, I'm going to be showing you incredible information. And if this doesn't, seal the deal for you, I don't know what is. Because I'm telling you, this is big confirmation of what they were waiting for. Okay, so just pay attention. And if you don't understand something, you can go back and watch it later. Go back and watch it again. Like I said, there's a live stream, and I'm going to be showing new information. And understand that there is, like, let's say when I mention 9/11, I'm not going to be showing all the information that I've connected with 9/11. You have to watch my videos. Go to the live stream section of this channel and watch all the videos. Just work your way back from the most recent one, okay? So I'm not going to be showing you all those connections. So when you see me mention or see and hear me mention Pearl Harbor, I'm not going to be showing all those connections I've already shown, connecting from Pearl Harbor to 9/11. So make sure you watch my live streams, because that's where I do all my videos, okay? Now, just real quick, let me lay the foundation for anyone who's new here. Listen carefully. Elvis is the Antichrist, and Trump is the image of Elvis, because Elvis is the beast out of the sea. And this June 11th event, which is what I'm predicting for Washington State, you got to get out of Washington State before June 11th, because there's going to be a horrific event there in Washington State. Get out before June 11th. Okay, that's the beast out of the sea event. And the beast out of the sea, who is Elvis, one of his heads has seemed to have had a head wound that was healed, and the world wondered after the beast. That is the Trump event on August 4th, most likely in Ohio. Okay, but it's for sure August 4th, which happens to be Obama's birthday. But Trump is the one who gets the head wound on August 4th. Okay, that's the beast that gets the head wound. Okay, and the world wonders after him. Okay, anyway, so the point is, it's Elvis and Trump. Elvis is the real Antichrist. Trump is the Antichrist in the flesh, because they're mocking God. Because when Jesus, who is God in the flesh, when he was walking the earth as God in the flesh, God was still in heaven. That's what they're doing. They're mocking God, with Elvis being the unseen God in heaven, and Trump being God in the flesh. That's why Trump is going to be, crucified. You understand what I'm saying? He gets his head wound and he resurrects. Okay, because that's what's going to happen. He's going to be pronounced dead on August 4th, but he comes back from the dead. Okay? Now, let's get to what this video is about. So I was just laying the groundwork, okay? Anyway, so like I said, you have to watch my videos. I can't explain everything here. Some people are asking me questions in the chat. Listen, before I explain, because I believe that Seattle is a big part of this, because Seattle is ground zero for everything, it's the next ground zero. And Elvis is connected to the Seattle Space Needle, because Elvis made a movie called It Happened at the World's Fair. Okay, back in when it first opened, the Seattle Space Needle, Elvis made the movie. It Happened at the World's Fair. He was the first famous person to have anything to do with that Space Needle, okay, in Seattle. And there was a horse the year Elvis died called Seattle Slew that won the Triple Crown. Okay, and by the way, this video has nothing to do with horses. It's just that I'm just talking about that one thing. The year Elvis died, there was a horse called Seattle Slew that won the Triple Crown the year Elvis died. Okay? And Seattle Slew means to violently kill. It's the past tense of the word slay. So, and that was on June 11th, the same year Elvis died. Okay? You had that Seattle Slew winning the Triple Crown. Anyway, Seattle's in King County. Elvis was known as the king, and horse racing is the sport of kings. And Martin Luther King was killed in Memphis, Tennessee, where Elvis lived and died. And now that Seattle is in King County. That King County in Seattle, where Seattle is named after Martin Luther King, because they're going to destroy it, okay? Like they supposedly destroyed MLK. You understand what I'm saying? Anyway, so let's get started here. So everything connects to this puzzle. If you've been watching my videos, you know what I'm talking about. So here's some connections with not, because the next 9/11 is going to be 6/11. So who, what is Manhattan? Manhattan is known as the Big Apple, and that's where the first 9/11 was. And and where am I telling you the next 9/11 is going to be? In Seattle, Washington. Washington is the Apple State. So you have the Big Apple, then you have the Apple State, the two events. Okay, 9/11 is the Big Apple, and Washington State is the Apple State. Okay, now that's the first connection, right? And then, oh, and by the way, speaking of Apple, the first Apple computer was $666.66, right? You know that whole thing. But when did that? Because I'm telling you, this Washington event, they're going to take a bite out of the Apple State. It's biblical. They're going to take a bite out of the state. All right, and that's why you have the Apple logo having a bite out of it, because it's connected to biblical. You know, the Adam and Eve thing. And so the Apple computer was $666, right? And then what year did it come out? The Apple logo with the bite in 77. The year Elvis died and the year Seattle Slew won the Triple Crown on June 11th. You understand? So the bite of the apple, because they're going to take a bite out of it. That's why they were calling the Seattle area during the pandemic the chop zone, because they're going to chop a part of Washington State off of the map, okay? Something horrific is going to happen on June 11th. Now, if that's still not enough for you with the Apple, folks, I haven't even started with the information yet. This is just me laying the groundwork. The incredible information is coming. What did the first settlers call? What did the first settlers call Seattle before it was Seattle? Look. See, it was called New York. So Seattle was called New York before, you see, Seattle, New York. Okay, now you understand another connection. So Seattle was called New York before it was Seattle. All right, now I've shown this years ago. There's nothing new. Now let's get to the information. Now, here we go, folks. You haven't seen this information, folks. This is new. All right, get ready. And by the way, remember what I said. I'm not showing all the connections to 9/11. There's tons that I've shown. And to the Pearl Harbor. I'm just going to mention it, all right, and show you the connections, how it connects to what I'm showing. Okay? You got to watch this whole video, whoever just got in. Pay attention. Here we go. Get ready. Here it comes, all right? So what is the area code of Manhattan? Okay, let me get my pen here. Get ready, folks. This is going to be an incredible video. So the 9/11 attacks happened in Manhattan, New York, right? The telephone area code for the Twin Towers is, the area code was 212. Okay? 212 is what this video is about and how it connects to everything. Area code is 212 for 9/11. Seattle, Washington equals 212. 212. Seattle, Washington equals 212. Okay, and remember I told you Elvis with a crown. The letter O with Elvis equals Washington. I mean, the letter O with Elvis and the word Washington equals 212. Just pay attention. Wait till you see how it all comes together. Elvis is 90 years old. The 90th day of the year is 3/31, and I can show you a ton of connections with that. I've already shown it in my past videos. From 3/31, because remember, he's 90 years old, Elvis, right now, if he was alive. From 3/31 to 6/11 is 2 months, 12 days, okay, if you add the date. The prime numbers for 6/11/2025 The 6th prime is 13, 11th prime is 31, 20th prime is 71, 25th prime is 97, equals 212. Okay? 212 for this year's prime numbers for 611. Okay? Now, remember, wait till you see. Just keep watching. Just remember what I showed. The most important thing I showed here was this: Seattle, Washington equaling 212, and the area code for the Twin Towers was 212. And don't forget that Elvis had a twin that died at birth. And the word twin equals 66, and 66 years after Elvis was born, the Twin Towers fell. All right, 66 years, 8 months, 4 days. And I'm telling you, Trump gets his head one on 8-4. But look, 212, the area code, and Seattle, Washington equaling 212. That's what's important right now, okay? Now, let's keep going. Watch how it all comes together perfectly. Who was the president during 9/11? George Bush, okay? George Bush was the 42nd person, but the 43rd president. George Bush Jr. was the 42nd person, 43rd president, okay? From the first of the year to the date 212, if you don't add the day, it's 42 days. If you add the day, it's 43. Okay? And remember, we're basing it on the area code from Manhattan where the 9/11 happened is 212. Okay? 212, right? And that's why I'm showing you the date 212. From the first of the year to 212 is 42, 43 days. And George Bush was the 42nd and 43rd president, 42nd person, 43rd president. Get ready. Okay. Now, this particular, what I'm about to show is no big deal, but look, from 212, if you went forward 2 months, 12 days, it lands on 423. What did I just tell you? That from first of the year to 212 is 42, 43 days, 4243, and Bush was the 42, 43 president, right? But anyway, don't worry about what this says. Just focus on this. From the first of the year to 212 is 42, 43. And George Bush is the 42nd, 43rd president, right? 42nd person, 43rd president. Manhattan area code is 212. And I told you that Bush is the 42 person, 43rd president. From the first of the year to 212 is 42 or 43 days, which is George Bush. Then from 212 to 9/11 is 212 days. Are you seeing it? Are you seeing what I'm showing here? Okay? Do you get it? What I just showed? Okay? Wait, it gets crazier. Just wait. Okay? Then from remember, from 212 to 9/11 is 212 days. That's the Manhattan area code. From 9/11 to 212 back again, going from 9/11 to 212 is 154 or 155 days. And why is that important? Because that's the exact days from Elvis's birthday to 6/11. 154 days if you don't add the day, 155 days if you add the day. Same thing what I just showed here. 154 days if you don't add the day, 155 days if you add the day, okay? All right? And that's from 9/11 to 212, right? Now, you see the 154, 155 from Elvis's birthday to 6/11? What is 6/11 to Elvis's birthday? 212 days. See? When you add the day. 211 if you don't, but it's 212. And the 155 or 154 if you don't add the day. So do you see what I'm talking about? How it connects to 9/11 and the 212? Starting from this card right here, from the first of the year to 212 is the Bush connection, 42nd president, 43rd, 42, 43 days. 212 is the 9/11 area code. And the Manhattan area code, 9/11 is 212 days from 212. Manhattan area code. And then from 9/11 to 212 is 154, 155 days, which is the Elvis birthday to 6/11. And then from 6/11 to Elvis's birthday is 212 days. You understand? You know? And just to show you how things that I've shown in the past, from Elvis's birthday to 611, I told you 154 or 155 days on a regular year. When you don't add the dates, 154. When you add, it's 155. From Elvis's dad's birthday to 9/11 is 154, 155 days. It's all connected, And let me show you why I'm showing you this, okay? And from Vernon Presley's birthday, it gets better, the video. Just pay attention. Vernon Presley, from the day he's born to the day George Washington died, his death date is 12/14. It's 248 days if you don't add the day, 249 days if you add the day. And that's America's age right now, is between 248 and 249. It's going to be 249 years old on July 4th. But during this 6/11 event, the next 9/11, it's still going to be 248 years old in America. And why am I showing you this? Because look, what is the area codes that we're talking about? 212 from Manhattan, Seattle 206. Add America's age on June 11th, it's still going to be 248. You get 666. See? So America's age with those two area codes adds up to 666. Okay, so the next 9/11, and Manhattan has the ATT, Seattle has the ATT, because it's the double cross. You understand? Anyway, so let's get back to what we're showing here. So I was connecting some stuff to George Washington, because that's what Washington State is named after, right? Washington, D.C., Washington State. But the big event is going to be in Washington State. So from George Washington's death date to 6/11, the day I'm telling you is the next 9/11, is 911 days, depending on which years you use. But, because it depends on what year. I think it could be one day less or one day more. I'm not sure now. But it's 12/14 to 6/11, 911 days. Okay? Are you understanding? The next 9/11 is 6/11 in Washington State. Okay? Now, from Washington's death to Elvis's death is 611 days, depending on what year you use. Could be one less or one more. I can't remember. But it's 611 days. So there's the amount of days it could be. It could be either 610, 611, or 612. So the middle one is always the most important one, because that's the most perfect one. Anyway, so do you get it? All right. Can I move forward? Is anyone not getting this so far? I just want some feedback. Is anyone not getting what I'm showing? Okay. Now, so remember, we're in the year 2025, and 2025 looks like 225, because the zero can be in nothing. It can be nothing, or it can mean something, right? Zero to hero. But look, George Washington's death date is 12/14. From 12/14 to 225 is 2 months, 12 days. There's that 212 again. The Manhattan area code and everything else I showed. Okay? And now look at this. You remember when Trump got his ear clipped, his supposed ear clipped? From George Washington's death date to the day he got his ear clipped on 7/13, it was 212 days. 212 days. Okay, this is Washington's death date. What time was Trump ear clipped? At 6/11. Remember? Do you understand? If you've been watching my videos, you know what I'm talking about. The time on the clock was 6/11, and I've been showing you how it connects to the 212. Okay? And it's 212 days if you add the date from death date to the Trump ear shot. Okay? And then, of course, it's going to go right back to, so from George Washington's death date to the day Trump got his ear shot is 212, which is what I just showed. Then from the day he got his ear shot back to the death date of George, exactly the connection from Elvis's birthday to 6/11, right? It's 155 days when you add the day, right? And when you type in the words 155, this is the first number when written out to equal 216. And you know Elvis Aaron Presley equals 216. Of course, 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. And Trump gets his head won on the 216th day of the year, which is Obama's birthday, right? So what I'm trying to say is it connects to everything, right? Now, let's get back to this 212 area code. 911, the 911 Manhattan area code is 212. Seattle, Washington equals 212. And if you saw the earlier stuff, I connected with 911, this now I'm connecting it to 611. Pay attention. All right. You ready for this? From the first of the year to 212, which is that Manhattan area code, is 42 or 43 days. Remember, that George Bush was the 42nd person, 43rd actual president. 42nd person, 43rd president. From 212 to 611 is 120 days, right? So 42 and 120 would equal 162. And if you added the 43 to the 120, it would be 163, okay? And June 11th on a leap year would be 163. And why am I showing you this? See, this is nothing right here because this is obvious because the 162nd day of the year is June 11th. So no matter what you get, you would always get this. But why am I showing you this? Because this actual separation of 42 and 120, why am I showing you this? Get a load of this. Now you understand. Elvis died on 8/16/1977 at the age of 42. Add up 8/16/1977 equals 120. He died at the age of 42, makes 162. Do you get it? 162 is June 11th. And the separation is at the 212, which is the 42-43. Do you get it? Elvis died between the age of 42 and 43. Okay? Are you getting it? 42 to 43 at 212 to 611. Okay, please tell me you guys are getting this. This is what I'm showing you is beyond ridiculous. What you're saying. It's impossible. Okay? Give me a second. And I'm not even done. It gets even crazier. Give me a second here. All right. Now, just for information, before I show you the more incredible information, listen. My birthday is a part of this puzzle, okay? I'm not saying, don't worry about what it means toward me. All that I'm saying is that I was born on September 4th, 9/4, but it was a leap year, so it landed on the 9/5 actual day, but it was 9/4 the date. So 9/4 is normally the 247 day of the year, but because it's a leap year, it was 248. So it connects to the 9/5 because 9/5 is the 248, 249th day of the year. Okay, so I want you to understand that 9/4, 9/5 connects to America's age because America's age is 248 right now, and it's going to be 249. All right, but 248 is what's important because it's going to happen during June 11th. America's age is still 248. Now, so remember earlier I was showing you. Let's keep going here. I told you it gets incredible. Just keep watching. Seattle, Washington. It's the whole thing, because remember earlier I was showing you how it equals 212 for Seattle, Washington. But if you wrote out the whole thing, what it equals is 212. Backwards is 247. And the 247th day of the year is 9/4. That's my birthday. But I told you it landed on the 9/5 day of the year because it was a leap year. So it's 247, 248. But look, then you have 459. That's my birthday connection again, 9, 4, and 5. And look, 162 is June 11th. And you get those numbers, 216, 162. 216th day of the year is August 4th. But look, the reason I'm showing you this is because look, from 611 to 212 is 247 days. From 611 to 212 is 247 days. Okay. And from 6/11 to January 8th was 212 days, right? Wasn't that correct? Hold on, folks. Just real quick. I gotta check that real quick. I know I showed that earlier. Oh man, folks. My hand, something's wrong with my hand. Whoa. I can't look at this. I can't look. What's it doing? I can't control my thumb, folks. The rheumatoid arthritis is getting me. Hold on. Yeah, look. If it starts shaking, folks, the phone is because of my hand. Oh man. So look, from 6/11 to 1/8, Elvis's birthday is 212 days. Remember? 6/11 to 1/8 is 212. So 6/11 to 212 is 247. Okay? You understand? So the 212, 6/11 to Elvis's birthday is 212. So Seattle, Washington, 212, 247. You see what I mean? It's all connected to Elvis's birthday and to 6/11 and to the 212, okay? That's all I was trying to show, all right? Anyway, let me just real quick, give me 1 second to put this away and start over here again. Okay, now why am I showing you this? You'll see in a moment. Remember, Seattle, Washington, from 6/11 to 212, because we're talking about the Manhattan area code being 212. 6/11 to 212 is 247 days. See? 212, 247, Seattle, Washington. You see what I'm saying? Okay. Now, if you still think this is just coincidence, what about this? The square root of 611 is 24.7. Remember, my birthday is not for the 247th day of the year, but it's also on a leap year because I was born on a leap year, so it's 248 day also. 6/11 is 24.7. See what I'm talking about? Now, if you think this, pay attention. So we're talking about 6/11 being 24/7. From Elvis's birthday to 9/11, 247 days. You see? And I could show you much more because the percentage is 67.67, which is equals Elvis and his twin Jesse. But I'm not going to get into that. But do you see what I'm saying? And then, of course, you have this connection. Yeah. But look, it's the 247. And I told you Trump's going to get his head on 8-4. But look, folks, you got to watch my videos. You got to understand. So the 6/11 is 247, the root. The first time you see the numbers 2, 4, and 7 straight across, this is the first time. So if you went to 610, it would be 246. So 6/11 was the first time you see 247. From Elvis' birthday to 9/11 is 247, and which connects to my birthday, right? Because I was born on 9/4. But look, it's 6/11 to 212 is 247 days. 212, 247 for the word Seattle, Washington. Okay. Okay. You understand? And that's my birthday, like I said, right? And from Washington's death, from Washington, the day Washington was founded, Washington State's founding date to 212, the date is 94 days, if you add the day. From Washington State being founded on 11/11 to the next time 212 is 94 days. Okay? So remember, I told you America's age right now during 6/11 is going to be 248 years old. So we're in between 248 and 249. And I told you 9/4 lands on the 9/5 day on a leap year. So 9/4 connects to the 9/5 because 9/5 is 248, 249. And we're in between that with America's age. And remember, I showed you that Manhattan area code plus the Seattle area code plus America's age being 248 adds up to 666, right? Now watch this. Remember, I was showing you the America's age connects to the 9/4, 9/5 because it's 248 day of the year on, with the leap year stuff. 9/4 to 212 is 162 days. 9/4 to 212, which is my birthday to 212 is 162 days. That's June 11th. Then from 212 to 9/5 is 206 days, which is the Seattle area code. You see what I mean? Do you get it? That's what I'm trying to explain to you, that the 9/4, 9/5 will connect perfectly to the 212 also. Okay? And of course, it connects to MLK because MLK, I told you, was killed in Memphis, Tennessee, where Elvis lived and died. He was killed on the 94, 95 day of the year because it was a leap year. So it was 95th. And 9/5 to 4/4, MLK's death date is 212 days. Are you understanding where I'm going with this? All of this. These are impossible coincidences, man. All right? Seattle's in King County. Elvis was known as the King, Martin Luther King. Now Seattle is in King County. That King County is named after Martin Luther King. Okay? So, do you understand what I'm talking about? And yeah, everything's connected to the 4445 because 4/5 is actually the 95th day. All right, I've talked about this already. Yeah, Trump is the 4445 president. Okay, now back to this again. So from 206 to 905, I showed you was 212 days. 206 being the Seattle area code. Then from 95 to 206 is 155 days, which is from Elvis's birthday to 6/11 is 155 days when you add the day. You see what I mean? It's all connected. Okay, now I know it's a little confusing, folks, but you don't have to worry. No one's asking you to remember this. You can just go back and look at your favorite information and use that. So you know that the Julian calendar was the other calendar we used to be on, and 11 days was removed from the month of September in the year 1752. Okay? So the last day of the Julian calendar before we started using the Gregorian calendar in the, I guess in the original 13 states or something. I don't know. But it stopped in 1752. The last day was 9/2. Then it started up again 9/14, 1752. The first day of the Gregorian calendar. So 11 days was removed from the month of September. Now, if you don't believe me, let me show you that first, okay? Give me a second to my arthritis, folks. Hold on. Let me see where I have that. Just give me a second. Where's that info? Oh, here it is. So here it says it right there. It's September 15, 1752. English and its colonies transition from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian calendar by skipping 11 days, specifically September 2nd. 17th was followed by September 14th. So they skipped the 3 through the 13. You see? Okay. So it ended on ended September 2nd, started up September 14th in 1752. And why am I bringing this up? Why am I bringing this up? You're going to see right now. Because remember, this 6/11 event, America's age right now is between 248 and 249. America's age on 6/11 this year is in between 248 and 249. So if you used the old calendar, the first day of the new calendar before it turned into the Gregorian, it's 9/14 the first day. Remember, the last day was 9/2. 9/14 that day to 9/11 is 248 years. 248 years. You see? I just told you that we're in the 248 year for America's age. This is from the calendar, the first time that it was used, the Gregorian. So 248. Now, if you started from 9/2, it becomes 249 years. Because see, it's before 9/11. That's why the date. This is after 9/11, the date. Do you see? 248, 249. And we're in between 248 and 249 for this 6/11 event right now. You know what I mean? For 9/11. You see what I mean? for this year's 611 event. We're in between 248 and 249 years old. Okay. Check this out. So from 9/2, the last day of the calendar, to my birth date, look at that, will you? Then my birthday, remember I told you I was born on 9/4/95. How is this possible? From the exact day, the last day that the calendar, from the Julian to the Gregorian, that was the last day, 212 years and 3 days. What is 212 in 3 days? It's the crown. The 3 is the crown. I told you, it looks like the W. If you turn it sideways, 212 with a crown. Okay? And 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 if you go from the first day of the new calendar, because this was the last day of the new calendar, this is the first day of the new calendar, it's 211 years, 11 months, 22 days. Look at that. And you know what the 1122 is, the JFK connection. And 211 is Washington's original birthday, which is the 42nd day of the year, 211. But that was Washington's original birthday, 211. Now watch this. For the people who's into the skull and bone stuff, look at that. What is the reverse date of 212? Because that's the Manhattan area code, right? 212. What is the reverse date of 212? 322. I mean, the 1118, which is the 322nd day of the year. So it does have big significance here. You see what I mean? Because 212 is the 43rd day of the year. But if you use the calculator, if you don't add the day up to 212, it's 42 days. But it's really the 43rd day of the year. And of course, 212 connects to this dude, Abe Lincoln. 212. You see what I mean? He's born on 212. And what happened to him? He was assassinated, right? And I've shown all the connections with him and all the assassinated presidents. Okay. And speaking of assassinated presidents, look, Abe Lincoln to JFK, look at that. From his birthday to JFK's death date is 9 months, 11 days. Interesting. This is meaningless info right here. But now let's get back to what this video. So I've told you I've made so many connections with oh, and by the way, Abe Lincoln is 216 years 216 years ago. He was either born 216 years ago. Yeah, he was born 216 years ago. And Trump's going to get his head wound on the 216th day of the year. Go ahead, Cody, tell us, because I have a lot more to show, but I want you to tell me if you want to tell it, and I'll let you know if I have it. So he's born 216 years ago, and Trump's going to get his head wound on the 216th day of the year this year. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, he's the 16th president. 4 times 4 is 16. Remember the 4-4 connection? Remember MLK with the I showed you? There was 212 days connecting with MLK also. So now look, Pearl Harbor, from Elvis's birth, the exact day he was born, I showed all this connection. Oh yeah, Cody's putting something in the chat that has to do with Mercury years, which I don't know anything about, but he knows that astrological side of it. I have no idea, like moon cycles and stuff. He's saying it's 666 Mercury years after Seattle was incorporated. Very interesting. Now look at this, folks. Yeah, that's a good one. Check this out. So from Elvis's birth to Pearl Harbor, because the next Pearl Harbor is going to be in Washington State, okay? And the next 9/11, same thing. So from Elvis's birth, the exact day he was born to the exact day Pearl Harbor happened is 6 years, 11 months exactly. And what are we in right now? We're in between the year 25 and 26. You see? That's how many days it is. So 6 years, 11 months exactly. 6/11. And of course, I told you I connected Pearl Harbor to 9/11. Go, you got to watch my videos. And there was another incident that happened in Seattle. They demolished the Seattle Kingdom, and I told you Seattle's in King County. Look at that, from Pearl Harbor to the Seattle Kingdom demolition, where they took down the Seattle Kingdom. Look at that. It's 212 and 95 days. 94 if you don't add the day. That's the connection. What I just told you. The 212 is the connection. Then 94, 95, because that's how old America's age is. If you know what 9495's day of the year is, 240, 248, 249. Okay, so there's another connection there. All right, give me a second. My hand's about to fall off. Look at my thumb. Look at that. Piece of it's gone. Look, because of the holding the phone. Look at it. My whole hand's completely numb, folks. Hey, look, a chunk of my hand came out, like they're gonna do with Washington State. They took a bite out of my thumb. Oh man, hold on. Anyway, to anyone who's making comments in the chat and I'm not replying, it's because my mind is so it's full of information right now. I can't think properly. So I'll look at the comments later when the video is uploaded tomorrow. I mean when YouTube processes the video. I still have a little bit more, folks. Just hold on. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what you. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're saying about that. Yeah, we know. We know how. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about that stuff. But yeah, do a video on it, and then tell me about it. Okay, here we go. Let's just keep going. Like I said, I'm not even finished giving you. There's still more. There's some incredible information coming. Just hold on. So here's another connection. There was a Space Needle prank back in on April Fool's Day, 1989. They came on live television. They broke into live TV. They said, breaking news: the Space Needle collapsed. There was panic. They said people were calling 911. I mean, not 911. They were calling the police station, 911, whatever the hell they were doing. Everybody was panicked in Seattle because they said the Space Needle collapsed. And look at that, from America's age to the day they did that, look at that. It's 212 years. Forget the forget the months and days, but look at that, 212 years. Look at that. It's the 777 with the crowns, because the O is a crown and the 3 is a crown. I told you that. Okay? Do you see? That's the crown. The W is the 3, the O is the crown. So and on top of the jackpot, the 777. You see? So it connects to what I was showing you here, the Space Needle collapse prank from America's age, when America was founded. And look, from Elvis's birthday to 222, not that this matters, but this is what I'm talking about. 777 days is 212.88%. So 777 days, that's what the percentage is of the calculation of 777 days. Okay? 212. There's that 212 and the 88 connection, All right. So let's keep going, folks. Trust me, it's going to get good still. Hold on. So I told you that the letter O represents a crown. The letter O represents a crown or a portal or a ring or a face, a head. It doesn't matter. Just understand it's super important, the letter O or a zero. All right, so the letter O is the 15th letter of the alphabet, right? So when you see the 15, understand it's the O. So the day I revealed Elvis was the Antichrist, okay, and I've already told you guys that Obama's birthday is super important to this puzzle. That's why they use him as their capstone, okay? Barack is just it is the capstone to Trump and Elvis, okay? From Barack's birthday to the day I revealed Elvis was the Antichrist, that which is the day I turned 55 and Satan equals 55. That's the exact day. The very next day was my birthday, but on this day I was 55 years old if you use the calculator. Look at that. It's 212, 15 days when you add the day. 212 is the number we're talking about, and then the 15 is the crown, you see? I mean, you think that's a coincidence? You know, the day I revealed it, I was 55 years old that day. Satan equals 55. Anyway, look, besides, let me just show you this. So if you see 21203, that's 212 with a crown, right? With a crown and the head and another crown. You see double crown and 212. You see what I'm saying? So 21203. Look at this. From the day Washington State was founded to the day Aleister Crowley died was 21203 days. From the day Washington State was founded to the day, and there's a reason why I'm showing you this. You'll see in a moment. From Washington State being founded to the day Aleister Crowley died was 21203 days. Okay? You see that? Which is what I just showed you here. The 21203 is the crown on the 212, right? And this is to Aleister Crowley's death from Washington State's founding date. And then from Aleister Crowley's death to the June 11th event is 77 years, 6 months, 11 days to this year's big event. And why is that important? Because 77, 611 is the day Seattle Slew won the Triple Crown. The same year Elvis died on 6/11/77. See? 77, 6 months. That's from Aleister Crowley's death to 6/11. And then remember, from the Washington State being founded to Aleister Crowley was 21203, which is the connection to the Manhattan area code being 212, right? Now, so did everybody get that? Why I showed that? Did everybody get why I showed that? Yeah, God bless everyone in the chat. Yeah, pray for everybody, folks. Hold on. Okay. Now, just give me a second. I'm almost done, folks. Hold on. All right. So remember, the 212 was the whole connection to this video because of the Manhattan area code. So you got to watch from the beginning. That way you can see all the great connections. You got to watch for you to grasp the magnitude of what I'm showing. So check this out. So you know Elvis is born on 1/8, right? So you know the August is a big. Listen, folks. Every month is an important month, okay? So, but I created this chart where you count the months. Like the first time you see August is the 8th month, right? So the first time would be the 8th month. Eighth month is August. Then the next time you see August would be 12 months later, would be 20, and it would be the second one. So it would be 20. Then the third one would be 32. Then the fourth one would be 44. And Obama was born on August 4th, and he was the 44th president. So everything connects. That's why it's perfect. So anyway, so the first time is the eighth month, right? 1-8, and then the 18th number down is 212. Are you understanding what I'm showing you? 1-8. The first time you see it, the 8 is the eighth month. Then the 18th time that August comes around is 212. And that's the number I've been showing you this whole time, right? And why is this important that it connects to the 1-8-1-8? Because that's Elvis's and the identical twins were born, Jesse and Elvis, on 1-8-1-8. And in the UK, they say 8-1-8-1. They say the dates backwards, or we say it back, whatever way you want to see it. And if you add them up, it's 216 or 16-2. 216s or 16-2, which is August 4th, the 216 day of the year, and June 11th, the 16-2 day of the year. You see what I mean? You see what I'm talking about? It's at the 212 mark at the 1818. Get it? So even it has all these connections, I'm saying. All right. And the first time, okay, Washington equals 130. Okay, the word Washington equals 130. And I could show you all kinds of stuff what equals Washington. But Washington equals 130 when just adding up the letters to what is in the alphabet. The very first time that you see the numbers 130 in order with prime numbers is at the 212 mark. So you'll never see the number 13 with a 0 until you get to the 212. You see? And remember, Seattle, Washington equaled 212. The Manhattan area code was 212. Do you understand what I'm saying here? Okay? Are you getting it? This is the first time that the numbers 1, 3, and 0 is in a prime number. And prime means most important. Prime is the most, that's why prime numbers are so important to this puzzle. Okay? And here's another interesting connection. Look at this. From Elvis's death to 212, and this is the year Elvis would have been 45. He died this year. He died on that year, August 16, 1977. But in 1980, if he was still alive, he would have been 45 years old. And, that's the connection to Trump and everything, right? Look at this. To 212, the date in 1980 is 911 days right there when you add the day. From Elvis's death to 212 is 911 days. See, that's another connection to the 212. And look at that, 130 weeks in one day. That's just what I was showing you here with the prime number, 1301. 130 weeks in one day. But look. Anyway, so, and by the way, remember Elvis turned 45 in the year 80? Look at that. And look at that. Trump's going to get his head wound on 8-4, and 8-4 lands on 8-5 on a leap year. But look, 8-4. But look, it's 1980 with the 212. Look at this. Look at this. Watch this. Remember I just showed you that month chart? If you add up all the numbers in between, listen to what I'm saying. 8, the next one would be 20. The next one would be 32. The next one would be 44. The next one would be 56. The next one would be 68. Then the next one would be 80. The next one would be 92. If you just add up the numbers I'm saying all the way up to 212, like every 12th number, it adds up to 1980. So that's another connection to what I was just showing you here with the 1980 connection, 198 with a crown. There's much more I could show you with that, but I just thought it was interesting that it connected to the 9/11 from his death, to the 212, which is the Manhattan area code connection. Okay. Now, from George Washington's death date if you were to go 666 days forward from the actual day he died, George Washington, if you went from the exact day he died forward 666 days, it would land on this day. Then from that day, if you went forward to 611, look at that. It's 816, 94 or 95 days. So remember, Elvis died on 816. And look, it's got the 94, 95, which is my birthday, which is the year we're in for the 248, 247th day of the year. I mean, 248, 249, because 95 is the 248, 249 day of the year. Okay, so it's 81,695 days, but it's 816. Elvis died on 816. Okay, now here's the last thing I'm going to show. All right, so if you got in late, you got to watch from the beginning. Okay, it's an incredible video that for sure proves everything I'm saying. Okay, so remember I showed you earlier. If you put Elvis with a crown is exactly the same as the word portal. So the word portal equals Elvis with the letter O. O Elvis equals the word portal. And that's why O Elvis with the word Washington equal 212. So Washington and portal equals 212. Okay? And why am I showing you this portal connection? Because I explained to you, if you've been watching my videos about the bridge and the portal, okay, because bridge equals 45 and then the O is the portal, because that's what it's all about, is that the four. You got to watch my videos. You're not going to understand that particular thing that I'm showing. But the reason I'm showing you the 4-5 with the portal, 450 basically, the 450 is the first time you see the numbers 21.2, okay? 450 is the first time you see 212 in a row. Do you understand? The area code I'm talking about, 45 with a crown, is at 212, okay? That's the first number. Hold on, folks. My hand just went numb again. Man. Okay? I'm just showing you that because of the 212 connection. Okay? And the 450 is so important. Why is the 450 so important? Because look, if you put Elvis Aaron Presley with a crown and put 212, it equals 45 with a crown and 162. And what's 162? June 11th. You see? You know? And June 11th lands on June 12th on a leap year. So June 11th connects to the June 12th, which would have been the 163rd day. And this adds up to 612. 450 plus 162 makes 612. Okay? Which is the same numbers, 612, 162. But 612 and June 11 lands on 612 on a leap year. So they have connections. But look, it's the 450. That's what I'm trying to show you. Okay? 450212. 450 with the 212 but you have to have a crown, the letter O. Okay? Now, so remember, watch what I'm going to show you. So the reason I'm bringing all this up, because from Elvis's birthday to June 11th is 154, 155 days. So if you were to type in 154, 155, this is the only numbers in succession that does this. Like in succession, they have to be back to back. 450, 216, 666. This is the first time you see numbers like this, okay? And 154, 155 is how many days in between Elvis's birthday and 611 on a regular year, not a leap year. So it connects to the 666, right? You see, Elvis Aaron Presley equals 216. What would happen if we added Elvis Aaron Presley to the 154, 155? Because that's what Elvis needs to get to 611. See? Elvis Aaron Presley with 154, 155 equals 666. You see? Because look, 450 is what that equals, right? And that's the reduced number is 216 added up to 666. So 450 plus Elvis being 216, 216, and 216 is August 4th, the 216th day of the year when Trump gets his head wound, and 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. But look, is 666, right? 450 plus 216. So 450 plus 216, And that's why you get Elvis Aaron Presley with 154, 155 equaling 666. Okay, now, and remember I showed you that that from Elvis' birthday to 611 is 154 or 155 days. But if you just added the day, which is the more proper way of doing it, 1/8 to 611 is 155 days. And remember, Manhattan area code is 212. So 212 and the 155. Remember that. So now what would happen if we added 155, 212, and Elvis Aaron Presley? Elvis Aaron Presley, 155, 212. And we put a crown on it. See? There you go. See? Elvis Aaron Presley with a crown, the letter O, 155 and 212 is 666. So remember, this was without a crown. Elvis Aaron Presley, 154, 155 was 666 without a crown. Now with the crown, it's only the 155 and the 212. And I told you how the 212 connects if you've been watching the video, but he gets a crown and it makes 666, okay? Because that's what this whole thing's about. My whole hand is numb, folks. I don't even feel it. I just feel the pain inside, but the outside's like numb. Anyway, like I said, folks, you got to watch. It's information overload. Okay, that's what it is. I understand how people. It's too much for their brain, but I have to show it because I'm going to tell you why I'm showing it. Because after it happens, these two predictions, people will come back to watch it and they'll be like, "Yeah, that's it. That's the connection. That's the connection." So, what I mean? Whatever, they'll see that it was exactly what they've been doing all along, nothing hidden, you know what I mean? Hold on one second. Hold on. All right. Now, if you're going to make people watch this video, I would stop right here. Because now I'm just going to show bonus footage that's not important. There's a few things that's important, but not as important as what I showed. So from now on, if you want to stop, having whoever you're showing it to, if you are going to show it to somebody, maybe you might want to stop here. Because what I'm showing now is just a little bit of bonus footage. All right. Just give me 1 second here. All right, so remember, this is not as important as what I've been showing you, okay? All right. So, I'm talking about the area codes. I say the, you know why? Because it's funny that area code has the AC in it, like Antichrist. The area code, the Antichrist. Anyway, but look, look at what don't worry about this. This is because I was talking about the 212 area code being Manhattan, right? Manhattan being the 212 area code. Check this out. From Washington's death date, if you went forward 661,125 days, which is the 6/11/25, which is the date that this is going to happen, this event, 6/11/25. If you went from that moment, that 61125 days from Washington's death, from that date to 6/11 is 21236. Look at that. There's your 212. And the 36 is the 666 connection because 1 through 36 is 666, right? So that's interesting right there, because you know what I mean, right? You got all the connections, 611, 212, the year, and the 666. And interestingly enough, from the Queen's birthday, because the Queen's birthday is 421, this is 422, and the Space Needle opened on 421, 1962. But look at this, 421, 1926, the Queen's birthday, look at the numbers. It's 36, 212 days to 611. 36212, this was 21236, what I was showing. 21236, this is 36212. Okay, so that's interesting. And why am I showing you the 36? Because remember, to 212 from Elvis's birthday, which I haven't shown yet. This is the first time I'm showing it, because before I was showing you from the first of the year to 212 is 42, 43 days. From Elvis's birthday to 212 is 35 days if you don't add the day, but it's 36 days if you add the day. And 36 days is 1 month, 5 days, which connects to the 1-5 being the crown. But look, it's 36 days when you add the day to 212, which is Manhattan's area code, right? So it's 36, 212. 36, 212. You see what I mean? And 61125 days from George Washington's death to 611. So it's the exact same thing. If I had gone 21236 days from George Washington, you understand? If I went 21236 days from George Washington's death, it would have landed on some date, and then 61125 days would have been to this date. I should check what that is real quick, to see what that equation, where it would land. Give me a second. I want to see where 21236 days lands from George Washington's death. I'm just going to switch the numbers up. I just want to see where it lands, because maybe that one's more important. 12, 14, 17, 99 to, what was the amount of, man? Oh, I didn't put the amount of years. I gotta figure that out. Give me a second. It just gives me time to rest my hands too. Give me a second, folks. So yeah, if you do it the opposite way, it lands on February 3rd. And then from that day, from February 3rd, 1858, from Washington's death date. So all I did was reverse the numbers. I just wanted to see where it would land. So from that date, it should be 61125 days to 611 this year. Let's see. Yeah. So yeah, that's what it would be. So it didn't matter. The dates were irrelevant in the middle. It just was the amount of days. That's what was relevant. Anyway, so I just got a few more cards to show, and that's it. Remember where I told you guys to stop, which is not so relevant. Remember a minute ago? This is just bonus footage I'm showing. Okay. Yeah, God bless all of you. Appreciate. Hold on. So You know, Elvis was born on 1/8, and I told you he needs the 1/9 because 1 through 9 equals 45 because the 45 is the bridge. But look, add all numbers between 1 through 8, it equals 36. So Elvis, his birth date connects to the 36. And I just told you 36 days was to, where is this stupid card? From Elvis's birthday to 212 is 36 days. Do you understand? 1 through 8 equals 36. You see what I'm saying? That's why he needs to get to 212 because from 1/8 to 212 is 36 days. 1 through 8 equals 36, right? And uh and then 1 through 36 would be 666, right? That's what's the connection, right? Give me a second here. And you know Elvis died in 77, and in the year 2012 he would have been 77 years old. See that? 212 again with the crown in the middle. That's all I'm saying. And of course, the Seattle area codes, if you added the new one that they put in, 564, you get 77 with a crown. Okay. And here's something interesting. There's, Manhattan has new area codes too. They added. So the 212 was the first one, right? And 206 was Seattle's first one, right? 212, 206. You add up all the area codes, look what you get. Look at that. 119 with a crown, 911, right? With a crown, backwards. Or 611, upside down. And 77 with a crown. Look, it's the Seattle area, Seattle slew, numbers. Almost 911, 77. Whatever. You know what I'm trying to show. So yeah, what I was trying to show is that Manhattan, the area codes after the 212 is 1190. So 911 with a crown. Because they say the date backwards in the UK, 119 with a crown. And you know that I told you that there was the 3 presidents born the same year. Bill Clinton, George Bush Jr., and Donald Trump. And Trump is born on the 165th day of the year. During 9/11, these 3 idiots were all 55 years old. 55 equals Satan. 3 times 55. What does 3 times 55 mean? Besides Trump's birthday being 165, the 355 is the crown on the 55, Satan. And that's Trump's birthday, you see? Because Trump is the Antichrist in the flesh. You understand? Okay? And like I said, this is just bonus footage, I'm showing. That I was born in Beirut, Lebanon, and that's where that explosion happened on August 4th. Okay? So that's why I'm showing this. That August 4th explosion that happened on the water, the port of Beirut, portal, get it? BL is 212, the initials. BL. You see that? I'm just asking, is this a coincidence? And the explosion was on August 4th, remember? And Bruce Lee and Brandon Lee, the BL, the 212 initials connection, they both buried in Seattle, these 2 idiots. I shouldn't say that because I don't know if I think they're part of the club, so I ain't worried about it. I call him that. But anyway, why am I showing you that? Oh, and who's this band? U2. So the U is the only one that needs to be transferred to a number. U is the 21st letter, see? 212. 212. That's the Manhattan area code. And what I've been showing you, throughout the video with the 212 connections with 611 and Elvis's birthday and everything. Okay? And I just want to make sure you guys are still with me here. Yeah, and Prince died on 4/21, and Prince said, "I would die for you." Remember that? For you. He wrote the number 4 and then the letter U, because that's what I mean. I'm transferring the letter U, 21. You see what I mean? Yeah. And interesting, if you add up all the numbers between 1 through 212, it equals 22578. We're in the year 2025, and the 7 and 8, let me tell you what that connects to. 7, from the first of the year to Elvis's birthday, if you don't add the dates, 7 days. If you add the dates, 8 days. And Trump's age is 78 during 6/11, but he's going to be 79 after that on 6/14. But look, 7/8, 7/8, and then 7/8 up here, and 225. You see, because the 200, we're in the year 2025. You know, and also speaking of sevens and eights, you see how from the first of the year to Elvis's birthday is 7 days if you don't add the day, 8 days if you add the day. And 7 plus 8 is 15. That's the crown number again. But look, from Elvis's birth to his death is 7 months, 8 days. You see what I mean? If you don't add the day. If you add the day, 7 months, 9 days. And Trump's 78 and he's going to be 79. You see what I mean? It's right there, man. Now, interestingly enough, check this out. Check this out. Do you know that the first time Elvis was on television, the very first time he ever was on television, okay? So the first time the world saw Elvis and his face, I'm talking about I'm saying the world, whoever the world was at the time, okay, was on the Jimmy and Tommy Dorsey show. So it was called the Dorsey Brothers. And Elvis was a twin, Look at the initials, JTD, like Donald John Trump, you see? And why am I showing this? Because this is not important. Why am I showing this? First time the world saw Elvis on TV. Look at this. Look at that. So the first time from his birthday to the day they saw him on TV, if you don't add the day, it's 21 years and 20 days. So there's your 212 with a crown. But if you add the day, it's 212. I mean, it's 21 years, 21 days. So that could be 21 equals 42. Elvis died at age 42. But anyway, the point is it's 21 years, 20 days. So 212 with a crown. The first time Elvis ever appeared on television. Okay? And TV equals 42. The letters TV. Get it? All right. Now, here's the... Give me a second here. I'm almost done. All right. So you know that the Space Needle is a big deal because I told you Elvis was the first famous person to have anything to do with the Space Needle in Seattle, right? And I told you Elvis is the fallen angel. He is the one. All right. He's not just a fallen angel. He's the fallen angel. Okay. He is the one that fell from lightning. I mean, fell from heaven like lightning. All right. So Space Needle equals fallen angel. Elvis was the first famous person to have anything to do with the Space Needle. Okay. With even needles he was connected to. Okay. But I'm not going to get into that here. But so fallen angel equals Space Needle. Okay. Now, why am I bringing this up? Notice that the numbers are 8944. By the way, that's Obama's birthday, 84, and that's my birthday, 94. Okay. What I want you to understand here is the 8944. What is in between 89 and 44? So how do you get from 44 to 80? You know what I mean? It's the 45. It's the bridge, right? I've already talked about this in my other videos. But because the 45 is the bridge equals 45. Anyway, so why am I showing you this? Because I want you to look at these numbers. 89, 44, and 45. Why am I showing you this? Because of this. Look. Remember, 89 and 44 is Space Needle. What's in between 89 and 44 is the 45. Look at this. August month chart, September month chart. And remember, we're talking about 8494. 8 to the 4, 9 to the 4. Okay? Obama's birthday, my birthday. This is the day Trump gets his head wound on 8-4, right? Look. So to 8 to the 4th number down is 44. And Obama was the 44th president, but Trump was the 44th person. and he became the 45th president. That's why it's connected to the 8 and the 9, and then the 44 and the 45, which MLK was killed on 4/4, but it landed on the 4/5 day because it was a leap year. And of course, you have the 44, which is the kill number. Kill equals 44. So 8, 9, and then you have the 44, right? 44. But look what it equals when you add it up. So the first time August comes around is the 8th month. Then the 12 months later would be the 20th month. 12 months later is the 32nd month. 12 months later would be 44. So you add all that up, it's 104. You add up all these numbers here, it's 108. 108 and 104 is 212. You see? That's the 212 area code that I've been telling you about, and that's the Space Needle connection. 212 when you connect the 8, 9, and the 4/4, which is over here. So it connects to the area, to the area code of Manhattan, right? And Elvis has been dead for 47 years, and Trump is the 47th president. From 212 to 47 is 55 days. Satan equals 55. Okay. And Elvis died at age 42. Elvis has now been dead for 47 years, right? So 42, 47, and 4 plus 2 is 6. 4 plus 7 is 11. Just like Trump is 45, 47. That's 4 plus 5 is 9. 4 plus 7 is 11. So Elvis is the 611. Trump is the 911. Do you get it? With the 45, 47. Anyway, so from Elvis's birthday to 611 is 155 days. 155 days, the percentage is 42.47. So that's what they were waiting for. For Elvis died at 42, and then now he's been dead for 47 years. 42.47 is the 155 days, which is in between Elvis's birthday and 611, right? And is it just a coincidence that the June month chart and the November month chart, because it's 611 up to the 42 and the 47, again at the 4/4 mark, look, is 96 the total. 116 adds up to 212. You see that? There's that area code again. And look at the numbers. 611, 911, 66 is the word twin. How many years, was from Elvis's birthday to 911 was 66 years. 911 and 66 years. From Elvis's birthday to 9/11 was 66 years. You see what I'm talking about here? 4247. 4247. Okay? Do you understand? I hope you guys understand that. All right, man. That was it, folks. And like I said, I had a stack of cards, this much more to show, but I can't do it. It's pointless. And to everyone, like I said, if you haven't seen my videos, you got to go to the live stream section of this channel. Go to the live section. Man, my hair is a disaster. Go to the live section of this channel and watch all the videos from the most recent back. Just work your way back, okay? You understand? And if you came in late, you got to watch from the beginning, okay? Because that's where I lay all the groundwork for the 212, which is what this video was about because of the connection to 611, okay? It's all connected, And you know what? I'm going to show one last thing here. Let me just show this real quick before I end this video. Just give me a second here. No, I'm not going to show it. I changed my mind. It's too much complicated right now. All right. So make sure you watch from the beginning. All right. Any last questions? I'll stay on another 5 minutes. Anybody have anything? Earlier, I did not look at the chat. So I apologize. Yeah, I'm not selling anything. No. Yeah, I'll be giving away the cards. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, you should see all the cards I threw away, or all the cards that are on the ground right here. I just throw all the, cards on the ground that I make a mistake on. Yeah, anybody, just say what you have to say, folks, because I'm gonna stay on another 4 minutes, 5 minutes. So anything you guys have to say it now. And remember, I skipped a lot of information because I can't show everything, you know. So go watch all the videos under the live section of this channel. Yeah. Anyway. No, I didn't see any comments. No. I only saw one comment or two comments. That was it. No, I didn't see it. So if you have anything to say it now. Say it now. So anyone coming in late, you got to watch from the beginning because this is a real information video. Well, so the woman that dressed all the the first ladies, is born on Elvis's birthday. That's a good one. Yeah. What happened to her? Did something happen to her? Is she still alive? They have a perfume called 212. No, that's interesting. Very interesting there. What? Nobody can see your comments. Yeah, nobody can see your comments. I'm talking to the guy who's saying that I'm not seeing it. No, nobody's seeing it. Yeah, it's deleting your comment. Yeah, text it to me quick because I got to end the video. No, you can't. EP, you're not seeing the one he's trying to show. There's a bigger comment he's trying to show. Oh, are you talking about the Q comment? I mean yeah, I saw that one. The one, yeah, I saw that one already. No. I thought you had another one. Yeah. The 8 months, 4 days. Yeah, to nine to. So what were they saying about that? Let me go back to look at. I did see it, but I didn't know that was from you. Sorry. To EP, I apologize for saying you weren't seeing it. You did see it. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I apologize. Yeah, I do see it. Uh, yeah, from Trump's first day up to the 9/23 date is 8 months, 4 days if you add the day, right? Yeah. Yeah, actually, there's connections to Elvis to that date too. Yeah, Teddy, yeah. Anyway, to everybody in the chat, hey, Christian, yeah, I appreciate that. Sorry about that. Yeah, like I said, folks, I'm just exhausted, man. Yeah, Henry, I see what you're saying. Yeah, good comment. Oh, yeah, her husband had died, the one who was dressing the first ladies. Who is Carolina Herrera's husband?
According to the New York Times, Reynaldo Herrera, a dapper Venezuelan aristocrat, married to the fashion designer Carolina Herrera, whose social connections made him an indispensable story
He was
wrangler and
born
all-around fixer for Vanity Fair
7/26/33.
magazine, where he served as a contributing editor for more than 3 decades, died on March 18th in Manhattan.
Yeah. Yeah, other than her birthday, I mean, yeah, other than her dressing the presidents, like you said, that's interesting. She's born on Elvis's birthday, right? Is that what you're saying? When was Carolina Herrera born? Yeah, she was born January 8th, yeah. Elvis's birthday. Venezuela. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the 212. Carolina Herrera 212 perfume. Weird. That is weird. Naming it 212. Oh, that's why. It's because it's because of the New York. So she named it 212 NYC because that's the 212 area code, which I was talking about, which this whole video is about. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And she's born on Elvis's birthday. There you go. Yeah, yeah. That's the big connection. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. See, I just want to know what the 212 was about. Yeah, so the creature is connecting it to New York City, and she's born on Elvis's birthday. Yeah, that makes sense now. Yeah, it's called 212 NYC. It smells like. Yeah, let me tell you something. If it smells like me, it smells good. Because I take 2 showers a day sometimes. I smell, well, you know what it is? I smell like Irish Spring soap. I know a lot of people don't like that smell actually, because that's like old school. Yeah, that would make sense, Christian. Yeah, yeah. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, folks. Last minute. Yeah, Old Spice. You know what, man? Every time I smell that Old Spice, it gives me such. It brings back warm memories, whether it's good or bad memories. I don't really think of it, but it just brings back warm memories of just being, around family. Because I know that people I knew used to wear that, like adults. No, no. The only colognes, let me tell you, the colognes I used to use was either Polo, Paco Rabanne, or Koros, which was one of my favorites. But now it's so strong when I smell it. It probably is not even the same mixture. But so those were the three. And then the last cologne I used was Dolce Gabbana. but but when I was younger, my favorite was the Koros by Yves Saint Laurent. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying about the 88. Yeah. Koros. I think it's Kou or Kuor, something like that. Cologne Koros by Yves Saint Laurent. Yeah, it's Kouros. Kouros. Yeah. Yeah, this was the bottle. Look at it. Yeah, this was it right here. This one, the white one. I used to remember that when I was in my 20s. when I used to go to the club. Yeah. Anyway, God bless all of you. Make sure you watch from the beginning. This was a real information video. Do not miss this video. It confirms, okay? It confirms. Oh, you know what? Let me just show this because someone's talking about the 923. Let me show you how that connects real quick. From the day Elvis was born. So anyone got in late, you gotta watch from the beginning. It's an incredible video, this video. Hold on. Yeah, so here. You know, the Seattle equals 82, right? And Elvis with a crown equals 82. Okay? And the word portal equals 82. Okay? Look. From Elvis's birthday, the day he's born to the 923 2017, they say that's the Revelation 12 sign or something. I'm not saying that, but look, it's 82 years, 8 months, 16 days. Look at that. Elvis died on 8/16. You know. And even those numbers are important, but I'm not going to explain it. Okay. Actually, my full name equals 210 with a crown. Look at that. But look, it's 8/16 and 82. Look at that. 82 equals Seattle and equals Elvis with a crown. And equals the word portal, 82. Anyway, but let me see. I know there's something else that's from Elvis's birth, but what about Elvis's death? Oh yeah, there you go. Here. I got a connection for you right here. Look at this. You're gonna love this one. You're gonna love this one. Are you ready for this? Who's ready for some incredible information right now? Okay, look. See, it lets you include the end date or not include the end date. So if I include the end date, it'll still be the same as what I'm going to connect it to in a moment. But let's first do it without the end date, okay? So this is from Elvis's death to the Revelation 12 sign that happened in 2017. Look, it's 14648 or 49 days if you add the day. And why am I showing you this? 14648. If you say it backwards, you know, like not say it backwards, but the numbers are August 4th, 8/4, and 6/14, which is Trump's birthday. Hold on. 8/4 is when Trump gets his head wound, which is Obama's birthday, and 6/14 is Trump's birthday. And 6 times 14 is 84. Now watch. You see this? 14648. Are you ready for this? That's from Elvis's death to the supposed Revelation 12 sign. Okay? Now watch remember the amount of numbers. Watch this next equation. Now see, I do all this by memory, folks. Watch. Here we go. It's the exact same amount of numbers. Look at this. Watch. So look, it's the same numbers here. See this? 14648. Same numbers. Come on, stupid phone. 14648 days, same exact numbers. Now it's look what it is too, but it's from Obama's birthday to 9/11. Exact date. From Obama's birth, the exact date to 9/11. 14648 days. You see? You see how I remembered that? which is the same amount from Elvis's death date to that Revelation 12 sign in 2017. You see what I mean? Anyway, hold on. Give me a second here. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I know that. Yeah. About the 67, 67. That's Elvis and Jesse. Yeah. I just didn't want to show it in this video because I don't want to get too. It was too much information as it is, you know. Yeah. Anyway, God bless everyone in the chat. God bless anyone new to the channel. Make sure you go. Oh, by the way, can you thumb up the video, people? Thumb up the video before you leave. And make sure you comment under the comment section. Okay? Make sure you comment under the comment section, you know. And make sure you thumb up the video. Give me 1 second. I'm almost done here. Ask me another time. My brain is don't ask me difficult questions right now. I got too much on my mind. All right, I'll give you guys one. All right, I'll give you guys 4 more minutes. That's it. So if you got something to say it quick because I gotta end the chat. Anyone who came in late, you gotta watch from the beginning. All right. It's a super important video. It's like actually one of the most important, but there's a few more I have that's a little more important, but this is one of the most important. You got to see it. Okay? Yes, Elvis is the top one. Trump is the image of Elvis. Then Obama is the capstone to these two idiots. You got to understand there's lots of antichrists, okay? There's lots of antichrists. But Elvis is the top one. Trump is the next one. All right. Trump is the image of Elvis. All right. Any last comments? Anyone who had anything to say, please say it in the comment section or say it in the next live stream I do. All right. And I'm not sure if I'm going live tonight, but if I do, it'll be 6 hours from now. I'm not sure. Either 4, 5, or 6 hours from the top of the hour. All right. That's it, I guess. I'm trying to think, was there anything I'm missing here? Yeah, I don't know. All right, folks. Last 2 minutes. It's going to be 1 hour and 45 minutes. Well, since we were talking about 146, we'll stop it at the 146 mark. Anybody have anything to say? Say it now. Like I said, make sure you thumb up the video. I can't believe that only 32 people thumb up this video. That is so sad, man. I'm telling you, when you think about it, man, it's disheartening. It really is, man. To think, what people think of you, man. You know why I know who it is. It's the most of the viewers of my channel are other decoders who can't stand me. Yeah, but there's a couple in the chat. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about certain decoders who don't want, who don't comment, who don't, thumb up the videos. They're just here to watch and, learn what I'm showing. No, not you. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about others. There's lots of decoders out there who watch, I'm saying, who don't comment. I'm not talking about you. You know I'm not talking about you. Because you actually talk about my channel. So you know I'm not talking about you. Right? You understand that, right? Yeah. Anyway, like I said, folks, I'm just here to try to help people get out of Washington State. That's all it's about. It's not about me getting subscribers. It's not about me getting anything from this. I just want to help people get out of Washington State before June 11th. Because do you understand how bad we're gonna feel after this event happens? I mean, you guys don't understand. It's going to be the most shocking thing you ever see, and we're all going to be like, "What could we have done? What could we have done to help?" That's how messed up this is. You know, that's why I tell these truthers. I mean, I'm telling you guys are going to feel, like you didn't do what you should have done. When the time comes, and I feel bad. I really do. And we can only pray, folks. We can only pray that it's not as bad as what I'm thinking it's going to be. All right. Anyway, God bless all of you. Jesus is God. End of video. Make sure you watch from the very beginning and watch the whole video and thumb up the video. God bless all of you. And make sure you comment too. End of video. Jesus is God.